All right, hello and welcome to the Ground Podcast. And we are back after a while. As you can see on the screen, we are back with a new format because a football obsessed brain or a sports obsessed brain can only do this when both of us have an holiday from our work for Dasra.
Yeah,
So here we go, man. I'll just explain you the format. Basically, I'm an Arsenal fan. Vedant is a United fan, and we watch a lot of sports. So what we thought is, why not rank stuff out? Anyways, we are doing it in real life. Whenever we meet, it's always about how we can rank things. So here we are, Champions League, two matches gone, and we have some kind of an idea about how teams are performing, and we will be ranking them in these brackets. I will explain the first three, and Vedant, please explain the bottom three.
right.
And in no way, shape, or form, I think this list should be considered as the top teams are our favorites. I don't think so, and the bottom teams are not our favorite. This is just a list, guys. Don't
My team isn't
consider
even
it
in
as
it,
a
so there's no chance of being a
yeah.
favorite or anything.
So first category is SRK, Shah Rukh Khan, the superstar of the league. Who is that? Then we go to Irfan Khan, who is an underrated genius. So no one's appreciating them right now, but they will have their time. This team will have a time when everybody will say they are the best team right now. Then we have Salman Khan, the overhyped team who has all the aura and all the hype that is needed for a team to be favorites or win every single game, but somehow just don't do it. So yeah, Vedan, what are the bottom three?
Okay, before I get started with it, in the future, someday you could be called to Big Boss and you could be asked about this by Salman.
Yeah,
Why did you use my name like this? And you made a career out of my name. So just be prepared for that. Yeah, so I'll get on with the bottom three. Prakash Raj, of course, it's I specifically chose this because I think he's the greatest villain that I've watched in Bollywood in Singham. So the villain is basically the team that will not destroy, but they'll try to ruin the chances of the so-called superstar or the leading actor, but they won't last till the end. They will die before they get achieve their goal. So those are the villains. Ranveer Singh, this category is for the chaos and entertainment. The teams which are just there to have fun, entertain. You cannot predict what they'll do, if they will produce a amazing movie or they will probably, just get wrecked. So that's that category. The last category is something that we mutually decided on and we had a good laugh about it is Akshay Kumar after
2020.
2020.
Yeah,
Basically, teams that just exist in the competition, nobody cares about them. They're just doing their stuff every single year, but they're just there. They have no impact on the tournament and they're just there since the start and it's just meaningless. So, yeah, that are the bottom three
and
categories.
one last rule is that before placing any team in any category or any bracket, we both have to agree that this team will
Yeah,
go there. So there's got to be some serious heated debate going on. And
not at all.
also, after every six teams that we place, there's going to be a rapid fire round where we both will get 2 minutes each to place three teams, the next three teams on the list, without a debate from the next guy. So it's like Amitabh Bachchan saying, "Bas keh diya na, bas keh diya." So it's
Right.
done. No one can shift that team to
And
other bracket or even debate on it.
this order is randomized, right? It's not arranged
Yeah, it's a
according to.
random order.
Okay, okay, that's perfect. Okay.
And all right, should we start? Should we start doing it?
Yes, yes,
All right.
let's.
So, the first team for us is Real Madrid. Now, obviously, for me, Real Madrid, it's very easy to say that they fit in the Salman Khan category because there's this overhype and but they just don't do it. But I think that was true last season because Carlo Ancelotti was there. He hadn't yet
Yeah,
figured out how the team will gel. But we have Xabi Alonso. They lost 5-3 against Atletico Madrid in La Liga. So there's like a bit of a confusion on my side. Are they overhyped? Are they going to perform? And Xabi Alonso was not really good in the Champions League and in Europe when he was in Bayer Leverkusen. So we are yet to see them. So my category for them is going to be chaos and entertainment. Ranveer Singh, what about you?
Okay, that's really surprising. I would actually rank them in the SRK category or the I don't know, the overhyped, the Salman category. I don't think they are in the chaos category because no matter what the circumstances are, they still have uh, arguably the top two, one of the top two best players in the world. And Mbappe this season is lighting up La Liga and Champions League. They're basically surviving on his goals. And when all of us know that when the time comes, they just somehow manage to do it in the end. So for me, it's either the overhyped category where maybe you're just the transition from from Ancelotti to Xabi, and all this hype around Mbappe, but they fail to live up to the hype because they still have a pretty good team. They have a really strong midfield. They have Bellingham, they have Valverde, they have Chouameni, they have Kamavinga, Arda Güler. All of these players are performing, but in the end, they could just falter. So it's either that or the superstar category for me. I don't think they're going to cause chaos, man. I like,
So my point why chaos, and you're right. So I think they usually go to overhyped, and because their fans and the complete the Twitter gang of Real Madrid fans, we know what they do every single time.
yeah,
But why chaos? So I feel that this is Xabi Alonso's first season. He wasn't expected to do anything with Bayer Leverkusen, and he won in his first season. And in the second season, he had a faltered start and then finished in the top four somehow. So finished second, of course, but still, I mean, it was when it was expected that Bayer Leverkusen will win. He faltered a bit. Again, his performance in Europe wasn't that good. I'm not saying he's not a good manager. He will turn out to be a world class manager, but because this is his first season, I feel he will have some amazing games where he will be, Real Madrid will control the game. They will
yeah.
really cause headaches to oppositions. But when it comes to knockout phases, when it comes to some of the a trip to okay, let's look at their fixtures, for example. Um, okay, Real Madrid in round three will face, who are they going to face? Juventus. Okay, look, Juventus is, again, we know what kind of a team they are turning out to be. We'll come to that. But I just feel as though they will just cause chaos. They will have some amazing, entertaining matches. And but I don't think they will just reach to the final. Based on the two performances I've seen, I think they've had a very easy run so far, but
Yeah,
still.
that's there.
So
That's there.
I feel it will be chaos and entertaining. And next season, I would probably go and say that okay, they're just the favorites and superstars, anyways.
Yeah, I think, yeah,
Agreed.
fair enough. I do agree because their fixtures have been easy. They have been good. But again, if someone like Atletico Madrid comes in, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
So
and
fair
that's
enough.
why I would have gone with the two categories you suggested, but I saw the Atletico versus Real Madrid game, and I just felt that can someone just break the Xabi Alonso system right now, because it's his first season. Could be chaotic. Maybe they'll go 4-3 and 5-1 in quarterfinals. So that's what I'm saying. So all right, let's go and place them in Ranveer Singh Chaos Entertainment. Next is Olympic Marseille. I mean, they opened the scoring against Real Madrid in the first game. It looked like they were going to cause an upset. What is your assessment on Olympic Marseille?
I think I would place them in the villains category
Yeah.
because I think they have the
Uh,
potential to ruin some teams' chances and some really good teams' chances. But of course, they won't make it till the end, is what I feel. And they have a really strong attack. De Zerbi has uh, assembled a lineup of the best possible criminals that you can find in football, and then
yeah.
is added someone like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to it, and he played really well in their last game. So I think they're going to be the villains because they actually are the villains. Like they are just a bunch of bad guys, and I think this is the perfect category for them, according to me.
And also, De Zerbi, I think, said that he dislikes power and he wants to defeat PSG, and he did 1-0. They are not on top of the table yet because they lost one game, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I would completely agree. I think they will play this villain role. They will try to destroy teams, and then perhaps you never know.
Yeah.
We have Bayern Munich next. Wow, Bayern Munich. Uh,
Superstars.
I think, yeah, for from my
Superstars.
side, it could be SRK, the
They are.
superstar. I think Olis, Hurricane, and they've got Luis, I think
Luis Diaz.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luis Diaz. So, yeah, I mean,
They've had the
I think,
best they've had the best possible start to a
yeah,
Bundesliga campaign. And so Company is now trying out Harry Kane in the number 10 role. In the last game,
uh,
he played Kane in the 10 and Nicholas Jackson was up front.
uh,
Olise was on the right and Luis Diaz was on the left. And Kane, as we know, is such a brilliant footballer that he's not just a striker, he's a complete package. And what he's doing since the start of the season, I think he has like 13 of, I don't know how many. He's in double digit goals already in
yeah.
single
I
digit
think it's
game.
18. I think he has 18 goals
Yeah,
already, and he has 100 goals in 104 matches for Bayern Munich. So,
exactly. So the attack is strong, the
yeah,
defense maybe, but I think right now, if you look at them, they're in the superstar category. Like they are the team to beat, I think, for me.
yeah. They beat Chelsea as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, completely. I think superstar category. Even if we just see the fixtures, I have Bayern Munich fixtures here. So they have Club Brugge, PSG, Arsenal. PSG Bayern Munich is going to be an amazing match. Then
yeah.
they face Arsenal. They have Sporting, Union Saint-Gilloise, and PSV Eindhoven. So I think pretty much a chance for them. Apart from maybe PSG and Arsenal, I think they will
Yeah,
just
because both of them are
cruise
away games,
past. Yeah,
so could be tough. But the kind of form that they are in, you would expect them to get a result irrespective of what or who or
yeah,
where they're
yeah.
playing.
All right. So our third team goes to where do they go? They go to the Superstars. So they are also the favorites then to win the Champions
Yeah,
League for me. Yeah. Olympiacos. Now, we could easily put Olympiacos in Akshay Kumar post 2020 category. Nobody
yeah.
cares. But if you looked at Arsenal versus Olympiacos, if you watched even the highlights, I think they actually played well. So it's like I feel they uh could be chaos and entertainment. So like they can cause chaos in some of their games, although they have the most difficult fixtures out there.
Yeah.
But I think that they might cause us a surprise because especially at home when teams have to, go east in Greece, it's not always easy. So my category was chaos and entertainment because they have some really good players. They have a striker in Al Kharabi, I think, who was amazing, and he can cause havoc as well. So what do you think?
I think I did not watch their game against Arsenal, but I'll just trust your opinion on this. I'll go by what you're saying. They could cause chaos because just looking at the results, they have just 1 point and their fixtures
Yeah.
are really tough. So you wouldn't expect anything out of them, but yeah, they could cause chaos.
So it was disappointing because they got a 0-0 against Pafos.
Yeah.
But now they have Barcelona, PSV, Real Madrid, Kairat Almaty, Leverkusen, and then Ajax. So, but realistically, if you put down, okay, Real Madrid, if you remove Barcelona, they have two Dutch teams who we can say they can go toe to toe.
Oh.
And then they have Leverkusen, who we are not sure
So
of.
so do you want to put them in the Irfan Khan category? Like, you
I
know.
don't know. I don't think they are that good yet. I don't think. I would still go for chaos and entertainment. They can just provide some
Okay,
entertainment and yeah.
fair. We can put them there.
All right. Give me a minute. Okay. So they will go in, and now we come to Frankfurt, who are actually they won 4-1 against. So they are
Exactly.
actually causing chaos and
Yes,
giving entertainment.
that
But they
category is paid for them.
Yeah, but they also were defeated. Like what, 5-1? Like what was the
Yeah, they lost 5-1 against Atletico.
yeah, so what? Entertainment,
But
chaos, entertainment?
they, uh, I think, put them in chaos and entertainment. They are a team that is known for selling their strikers for such high prices in recent
Hmm.
times. Hugo Ekitike and I I'm not recollecting the names, but they have sold all of these
Yeah.
uh, strikers for a huge amount of money, and now they have another player called, I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's Chan or someone, but he had a really good start to the season,
Hmm.
and he could be someone that actually powers their chaos and entertains this season. So I think that's a really good category for them because you just don't know if they'll win
Yeah, we
5-1,
don't
they'll
know.
lose 4-1, they'll draw 4-4. You just don't know.
Yeah, and I think they're also doing decently in Bundesliga as well. And again, in there also we don't quite know what they'll do. So
Yeah.
you were talking about strikers. So they sold Kolo Muani to PSG,
Yeah, Colomwani,
Hugo Ekitike to Liverpool. Of course, we know Marmoush to Manchester
Marmoush.
City, Luka Jovic to Real Madrid in 2019-20, Sebastian Aller, William Pacho, and it's amazing. Andre
Yeah.
Silva, Philip Kostic. So they're just like,
And they have this
yeah,
new guy that will go probably for a decent amount next summer as well. So,
yeah.
depends on how they perform.
All right, all right. Now we have the most difficult team to rank.
Okay.
I just don't know what we're going to do about Barcelona. So
Oh,
okay, first case is superstars because they have Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Ferran Torres, Rashford, Gavi and Pedri and Kunde. Like these are just superstars who can do amazing work. But they lost against PSG 2-1 with
yeah.
such a high line in the 85th or 86th minute, which was just so disappointing. I mean, it was an easy goal for PSG, and the commentator kept saying that we need to wait for Barcelona to get tired of holding this high line because the energies will drop, the synchronization will be lower as the game progresses, and that's what happened. PSG took their chance and they won. So, what is your assessment, though?
I I want to put them in the superstar category for two reasons. First being that last season in the Champions League, if it was not for that Inter Milan match, like which was again a very chaotic match, anything could have happened. They were going to the final and they won the league and they won I think they did the domestic treble or something. They were the strongest team. This year, they have added someone like Marcus Rashford, who is known for his big moments against big teams. So he
Mm.
will turn up in the later stages. He did against Newcastle last night. Also, he gave an assist. He's in pretty good form. So I think that one result yesterday was bad, but they're still the favorite. Like they are still a superstar team, as you mentioned. All the players and their midfield is just amazing. They control games uh, by just with Pedri, with Gavi once he comes, he's still injured. But now Pedri and Frankie de Jong have formed a really good partnership. The defense is also good with Jules Koundé. And I think the keeper will be the only problem because I think their Pena, who is the keeper right now? John Garcia.
Yeah.
He is injured for some time, and last night Chesney played. So keeper could be a problem, but I would still put them in the superstar category because
But still,
they
Chesney
still,
did quite well. I think that
yeah,
was one or two saves were amazing from Chesney. I'm just a bit reluctant for the superstar because I still feel that when you go and look at their defense, and even uh, when you look at the managers,
yeah,
we don't know whether Barcelona are fully prepared. I just somehow sometimes feel as though teams who are going to dig deep into matches, are Barcelona going to be able to go beyond that? Like for example, PSG, they might even face teams like I think, yeah, Atletico Madrid, of course, Arsenal, and what are their fixtures? Let's just look at Barcelona fixtures and just see how they might do. Uh, I think, yeah. So we have. Barcelona, yeah. So we have okay, Olympiacos, that's fine. Club Brugge is fine. Chelsea, Frankfurt, Slavia Praha, Copenhagen. So they have a relatively easy thing. So I think they will easily qualify. But
Yeah,
then if they get to the big teams, I just feel they might not be, that kind of favorites. Their attack will always be a favorite to score goals. But are they capable of seeing games through? This is what happened last season as well, right? Against Inter Milan. I think they
yeah,
were clearly the better team, but teams like Inter Milan, teams like Arsenal or PSG, they will try to take Barcelona till the end. And in that, do they have these players to just stick to the game plan a bit and not really try different things, just see games through? Because I don't think that's their identity. I think it's about playing the best football on earth and keeping the ball. Because even the goal Ferran Torres scored was amazing.
yeah.
You look at yeah, Lamine Yamal and his passes; those were amazing, and they will keep on playing this type of football. But yeah, I don't know. So my second option is, and I will try to convince you, and then we'll maybe decide. I think uh, I don't want to give them overhyped because I don't think they're overhyped, but maybe underrated genius. But again, no, underrated genius
No, I
don't
think
go for them.
superstar is because they are expected to win, right? They have this good squad, and the only thing that is holding them back is probably that high line which teams can expose. But
Yeah,
apart from that, if you put them against any team right now, maybe last night it was and again, even last night, it's not like they were the bad team. They created chances, but guys like Ferran failed to convert them. So they could have easily won that game as well. It's not like they coming up against good teams, they sort of go down or the confidence is not there or something. They have the quality. It's
yeah.
just that is fine
Okay.
margins.
Okay. I will give you this one only because we don't have a category different than overhyped or underrated genius where Barcelona can be
Yeah.
picked up. So, all right, let's
And I
go.
am backing my boy Rashford till the end for Barcelona this
Yeah.
season. And I just hope he carries them through. So maybe a bit of bias on this one, but it's there. Like the numbers are there. So I don't know.
All right. Okay. What something is happening because we have finished our
Six
six
teams.
teams.
Right.
Now we
Okay.
have the rapid fire round where you will get 2 minutes. You will have to pick up these three teams and put them and place them in any category you want without a debate. And then I will get
Okay.
three teams and I can do the same without any debate. So, all right,
Okay.
should we begin? I have the timer ready here. Okay. Three, two, one, go. Where does Bayer Leverkusen go?
I want to put Bayer Leverkusen in the Akshay Kumar category.
All right,
I don't
no
have to give an
explanation needed.
explanation. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay. Uh, man, the thing is that all of these three teams I want to put in the same category.
you can just do it.
Okay,
But
put
even Atletico Madrid in Akshay Kumar, nobody cares
yeah,
about
yeah.
Atletico Madrid.
If you want an explanation, I can give.
Okay, all right, done. You're done in just 20, not even 30 sec. Okay, 36 seconds. All right,
I don't know. It was just luck, but
no
these three
explanation.
teams. Okay,
Okay, all
okay,
right. I will go next. I have some difficult teams. Okay, 2 minutes start. Inter Milan. Okay, so there was a cut in between because we had to go offline because the electricity in my house kept going. But we will pick up from the point where we have finished our rapid fire round. Vedant actually has picked up his three teams, given them a bracket, and I have picked my teams and I have given them a bracket. So let's just see who they are. And of course, we don't need to give the reasoning, but if someone wants to, we can. So, all right. Are you able to see Vedant? All right.
yes,
So Vedant put in Bayer Leverkusen, Club Bruges, Club Brugge, however you feel like calling them, Atletico Madrid in Akshay Kumar post 2020. Nobody cares. I have put in Atalanta over there, and I
okay,
have put in Benfica in overhyped because I feel I want to give a reason because I feel just because Mourinho is now their manager, everyone is feeling as though Benfica might do something in the Champions League. But given how Mourinho has coached his last few teams, I just feel that it's just overhyping his reputation. I don't think Benfica is going to do anything in the Champions League, but I do feel Villarreal might do something, and I've put them in underrated genius. Although they have lost their first game and drawn their
Yeah.
second. But all right, all right. I think let's move on to the next one, and the next one is Tottenham Hotspurs, who no one. I think, yeah, I think I would put them in nobody cares. Where would you put them?
Mm, I'm not exactly sure. I think, yeah, like, see, I think that it's just the initial days of the Thomas Frank era. So they're doing really well. But once the fixtures start piling up, and if they get injuries to one or two key attackers, which they do not have a lot of attacking depth, if Kudus or someone like Javi Simons is out, or Richarlison, then they do not have a lot of good attacking depth. So their season can derail instantly. So I don't see them going like doing a lot in this tournament. Maybe uh, can cause a few upsets, like maybe against Manchester City because they are their kryptonite every time they face City. But yeah, I don't. I think maybe we can put them in that category because for this season at least, I don't see them doing anything significant.
So yeah, so they play Monaco, who has a 2-2 result against City now. They have just let me see who they have. They have PSG as well. Okay, just I'm opening. Yeah, okay. So they are away at Monaco, they're home at Copenhagen, then away at PSG, and then Slavia Praha home. So it's relatively easy fixtures. I think nothing more than an average Premier League team. I think except the PSG game. I think
Yeah,
they should actually do well, but yeah, I just feel that no one actually cares about them right now. I mean, they're not going to challenge. They're not going to do anything more
yeah,
than just be
and
there and exist.
this is exactly why I also put Atletico Madrid in that category. Like, I know we are not supposed to give reasons, but it's just that, they're in there for so long, they've made the finals, but they just don't like, they're just there. Diego Simeone is just in the UCL at least, maybe in the La Liga he does something, but they buy all these big attackers, Joao Felix, Julian Alvarez,
Yeah,
but then it's like they just eventually bottle it. So that's why I put
yeah.
them there.
I would go for PSV in nobody cares bracket as well. I think, and nobody cares as in okay. So I want to make it clear we are not some banter enthusiasts. So when we actually say nobody cares, I mean, obviously we care and the fans care, but it's like, yeah, they're just gonna exist. And if we give the title of the
Yeah.
bracket as though, okay, a very good team who does not have a good shot at a Champions League round of 16, that would be a very boring bracket, right? I mean, we can't give that. So we
Yeah.
have nobody cares, but I will put PSV in it. Anything else for you?
No, I think it's true because again, as you mentioned, it's uh, it's that particular category is for teams like these because if they
Yeah.
had done something extraordinary in this these opening 2 weeks or something that caught our eye, maybe they would have been in some other category. But it seems like
Yeah.
it's just going to be another average campaign for the Dutch
Now
league.
comes to interesting teams. First of them are Liverpool. So where would you place Liverpool here?
I'm placing them in the Salman Khan category. I
Okay.
because I haven't seen anything so far this season. The defense has been very vulnerable from what I've seen. I don't think they're finding the right balance as of now in that team. They have signed Hugo Ekitike, they've signed Alexander Isak, they've signed Florian Wirtz for a huge amount of money, but I don't think they're finding that balance. And Mohamed Salah, who's such a great player, is not being utilized to his full potential in this team because I don't think they have found Slot has found what works exactly. Does he want to go with Ekitike and Isaac as two strikers? Does he want to play Wirtz as a cam? Would he want to switch in a diamond? Would Wirtz play on the left wing? So it's a lot of confusion there, and whatever in the Premier League I've seen right from the first game against Bournemouth, they caught them out on the counter attack pretty easily. Newcastle did the same. Even against Arsenal, they were not pretty convincing. Then against Crystal Palace, of course, they lost. So it's like they were very lucky with all those last minute goals and everything. But if you take those out, then they could have been in a very bad spot right now because Slot in his, if you have seen whatever he's saying in his press conferences, he's directly calling out players for his mistakes. So it seems like maybe things can get better, of course, but from right now, all the hype that was created with the players that they signed, they are not. I don't think they're living up to it, or they would even later on.
Yeah. So एकच मिनिट थांबा. एकच मिनिट. अरे यार.
काय आलं?
अरे त्याला त्या माऊला बाहेर जायचंय आणि
अच्छा,
नाही तर तो हे करतो रे. युअर करतो तो घरात. हा
अच्छा,
गेला. साला. Huh. So, Al Muhammad Salah, I was talking about. So, coming to. Huh. So, okay. I feel okay. The defeat against Galatasaray did hurt them, right? I think defeat against Crystal Palace as well hurt their reputation. And I know that there is, as we talked about, and everyone is talking about how they've been lucky in a couple of games. I think that first of all, of course, they're top of the table. Yeah, they've bought in some amazing players who are not gelling well right now, and it's very understandable as to why it's not gelling well because you have these price tags, ridiculous price tags of 120, 130 million, and you are coming together. You thought you are the star signing, but there are like five, six different stars, and only perhaps Real Madrid and Barcelona carry that reputation of the club being bigger than the stars that they have. I
yeah,
mean, you have Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Benzema, and Suarez, Xavi, Iniesta, and these big stars. But you still know that Barcelona as a club and Real Madrid as a club are still bigger than these, and that's why they when you assemble this star line and star lineup, it still works well for you. And then you hire a coach like Zinedine Zidane, who everyone literally says he's the best football player they have ever seen. But when it comes to Liverpool or Arsenal or even I think Manchester United to some degree do carry that stature. I think whenever a player comes in, they know, even if they've had this abysmal last 10, 15 years, they still carry, not 15 years, 10 years, 10, 11 years. But United still carry that, okay, this club is still bigger than, your price tag. I think Liverpool is still doing that, although we know that Liverpool is one of the biggest clubs in the world. But when a player comes in, they know that Liverpool can be a stepping stone, and after Liverpool I might go to a Madrid or a Barcelona. So so when a manager like Arne Slot comes in, who does not have a really big reputation in players' minds, although we know that he's a very good tactician, he's a very good coach. When you bring in your second season, when you bring in these players and you want to have your own identity on the club now. In last season, he knew that there was a lot of similarities with the Klopp system, and he knew that the best way to get the best out of the team was to continue this and make slight tweaks, and no one actually expected them. All the onus was on Arsenal, so no one actually expected Liverpool to do anything, but they obviously won the league, and now everyone expects them to win the Champions League, the FA Cup, and the league. So everyone is kind of expecting only these three teams to actually do the treble. There's Bayern Munich, there's PSG, I think Real Madrid slash Barcelona, and Liverpool, and perhaps even Arsenal to some extent. But because Arsenal haven't won any trophies, they might not be looked at as a treble winners. But Liverpool are looked at as treble winners now because they've invested so much money, and that's what is maybe hampering them. And Liverpool were always supposed to be this kind of a team who wouldn't go for a 90-95 after Jurgen Klopp, of course. Or maybe they'll go, but not this season. But they'll finish a season in 80, 84, 85 points, go to the quarterfinals, semifinals. But because these price tags have been added, everyone just expects them to win every single game. But having said that, I don't feel as though they should be put in the overhyped thing, because I feel the hype is real. I think there is something amazing in this team that can happen, that can come to a light. I think so. I would actually put them in the superstar category, and it does not mean I am sure that they will win the Champions League, but I feel that even after two okayish performances in the Champions League, they're still uh, good enough to qualify directly in the round of 16 and don't have to play the qualifiers. And even if they get someone like a Barcelona or Bayern Munich, they still have the tactical compatibility, because we saw that against Arsenal, that they were very tactical compared to any other match they have played. So they have that compatibility to see off them, see through the the Bayern Munichs and the Barcelona. So that's the reason for me. But
I
yeah,
think I have 2 points on this.
yeah,
Okay, so first of all, Arne Slot in his first season, he won the league. He came in without any big signings, straight up. Just I don't think they even signed anybody big, or anyone
yeah.
for that matter. Just came up with no budget, nothing. He straight up won. So now no one can question his credibility because he got that win, right? So all of that spending and stuff, it doesn't matter or it doesn't hurt his reputation as a coach now because he's done it uh, like without spending anything and he's proven his worth. So now he's maybe allowed 2 or 3 seasons to just go and do his thing because, because of what he's done. Having said that, there are two things that why I feel that maybe this is not the season for Liverpool. It's not just that the attack isn't clicking. One thing is the loss of, like the tragic loss of Diogo Jota. Even if you feel that the football world has moved on because the players themselves were so connected with someone like him, that kind of loss does have some kind of mental effect on the players, right? And maybe not being able to fully recover from it, it can show. And then, uh, I don't know. I think the team in itself has not been how because coming from last season how good they were, you would expect them to be just as good or maybe even like 80 to 90% of it, but they are probably right now at 40 to 50%. And it's not just because they've signed these guys, it's also because of off pitch things like these which probably do affect the players more than we think it does, right? Because at the end of the day they have lost someone really close to them. Second, Mohamed Salah is going to go to AFCON in January or February. They've sold Harvey Elliott. I don't know who's going to play on that right wing for them. So that 1 month will also, they'll miss him. Third thing is they have moved on from Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold this season, which arguably were the biggest pillars in their build-up and part of their success throughout the Klopp era and even last season. Kerkez has been okayish. Frimpong, we all know he's not that defensively sound and he has been exposed. That has been exposed so far. So the loss of Trent and Robertson is also hurting them in the build-up. And in defense, they do not have any depth. They signed that one guy from Italy. He's also gone for 6 to 8 months with that ACL injury right now. So if one of Konate or Allison also got injured in the last game, one of Konate or VVD goes, their defense is fully exposed. And that is these are some reasons why I feel this is probably not the season for them. The hype is there for sure. They can turn things around. But you also have to consider these factors that probably we do not realize while we are analyzing or we're watching. But these are actually very solid factors that affect the team.
Also, if you look at the Galatasaray game stats, so it was very similar to how teams will go on low blocks against big sides, but Liverpool even if it was 1-0. So 1-0 is always very nervous for any team, right? At the end of the game, anything can happen. Something that happened with Newcastle as well against Arsenal. They conceded 2 goals in the end. Even City, they were so good against Arsenal, but just one mistake and it's 1-1 and it's gone. But
Yeah.
it was a bit disappointing that they couldn't find a winner. Against Crystal Palace, they found an equalizer against a very good Palace defense, but obviously conceded a last minute goal. So yeah, I do get it, but all right. Final verdict. What do you think? It's overhyped,
It's overhyped for
overhyping.
me, but I don't know. I just feel for this season, maybe not next
Yeah.
season, they might
Okay,
turn things
so
around.
my placement was going to be superstar because they have a lot of superstars in their squad. They've bought them for more than 500 million euros, but all right, overhyped. Um, Chelsea, where do Chelsea go? I think uh, Chelsea might be, I don't know. I mean, it's been such a confusing season for them. I would put them maybe in the villain kind of thing
Yeah,
or
I
the
think
chaos
so.
entertainment kind of thing,
Yeah,
kind of
it's either those two. I think Chelsea will probably take down some big team, like because they defeated PSG in the Club World Cup final. So Enzo Maresca, if he has 11 players on the pitch, can probably hurt teams, but unfortunately, a lot of his players are getting sent off in recent
yeah.
times. But we saw, I was surprised because in the PSG, in the build up to that Club World Cup, they were so good. They were dismantling every opposition, and in the final, they couldn't score even one goal against Chelsea. Okay. So, Chelsea or Enzo Maresca for that matter, does have the tactical ability to take down big oppositions, but uh, the loss of key players like Cole Palmer being absent for now injury for 2 to 3 weeks, even though they have a lot of good squad depth, I don't think they're going to go that far. They can cause chaos, but even their defender Colville is out. And with a keeper like Robert Sanchez, you just don't know what you're going to get. So for me, I would place them in the villain category.
Um, so they play Ajax next. Then there's Karabag, Barcelona, Atalanta, Pafos, and then Napoli to end with. My reason for placing them in the chaos entertainment because I think they have a history in this competition as well. And although, yeah, every season is different, but Chelsea, both their Champions Leagues were actually at a time when this team was not really good. And, it was in 2012, remember Roberto Di Matteo, how he won the Champions League is just, it just can't. I mean, we can't even imagine how that
But didn't
Chelsea
both of
side.
their wins, like both of the wins came when an interim manager came in between the
Yes,
season, right?
exactly. Yeah. And no one actually believed, even they didn't believe, and they were really bad in the league as well in those subsequent seasons. So, but anyways, I think again Enzo Maresca has a very good team. But looking at what they've done in the league so far as well, they will have bad days, and the bad days will be very bad, but the high days will be really really good.
Yeah.
When they can just just sneak in a quarterfinal and sneak into semi-final,
Yes.
if they get, maybe even if they get someone like Bayern Munich, because Bayern Munich already defeated Chelsea, but if it's like in the quarterfinal or the semi-final, somewhere like that. But obviously, we're not thinking of that far ahead. At least in the group, I would say they will give some form of entertainment. They have good players, but more than entertainment, they have chaotic players who will just turn up one day and do something.
Yeah.
So I am a bit inclined towards this thing, towards chaos and entertainment, while you are saying in the villain. But I am very happy to give them the villains title as well because they might be
Because
villains
as you
for some
said,
other teams.
yeah,
Yeah,
because as you said, they can make the quarters or the semis, so they can take down a big team, but going all the way looks kind of
yeah. And no one will like
dicey.
if Chelsea actually win a quarterfinal or go to the semi-final.
Yeah.
They will be like villains, like we don't want Chelsea, we want
Yeah.
someone else.
Yeah.
All right. Ajax, I think Ajax are really bad this season. They've kind of building a team again because they fired. I think they fired their manager. They were not really good in the last couple of seasons in Netherlands. PSV and Feyenoord have been really good, but then somehow they made the Champions League. They lost the title last season in the last, I think, two match days. And now I think Johnny Heitinga is interim manager, so it's not going that well for Ajax. So I would actually just go and place them in nobody cares.
Yeah, I think all the Dutch teams are going there. So,
Yeah, those teams are going. So how many teams are done now? So
I
we
think
had
one more is left before we
yeah
go for the three. Uh,
yeah quick thing. Okay. So we have Napoli. I would play. I would give Napoli the villain tag because I
okay,
feel Conte is a villain. He is a villain.
he is,
He's a
but
villain for players, and yeah,
yeah, but I am more inclined towards placing them in the Irfan Khan category, and I'll tell you why. Conte
yeah,
has that reputation that he does not do well in Europe at all.
yeah,
He
yeah,
has
yeah.
that thing with him, but he has a really good team this season. Like Kevin De Bruyne, he can help them, do things that uh, maybe they wouldn't have been able to do with anyone else if he stays fit. And he's playing
Yeah.
like a
And
newborn player in Italy right now.
yeah, he's also playing really well as well. He's contributed to goals already.
Yeah. Then they have Scott McTominay in midfield, who finished 18th in the Ballon d'Or. I mean,
The Manchester United legend
yes.
who
And
was
they
never a
still,
legend.
yeah, and they still have Lukaku yet to come back. Rasmus
Yeah,
Højlund is
yeah,
already doing very well. And we all know Conte with his three at the back system, he can take down he can tactically outclass
uh,
managers, and he can display that fluidity that managers won't be able to expect, because he can change his systems, he can bring in players, and he can even leave out the big players like Jose does just because he doesn't feel that they are right for them. And he's like, I don't have anyone to answer to, right? So that is why I feel that they would be in the underrated category where people are not expecting them to do something, but they're I feel that they might just go a longer way than people expect them to.
yeah. So my argument for not placing them underrated genius because I feel that Conte is a very good manager. He will get results.
Yes,
But when I'm looking at the underrated category, I'm looking at okay, no one is expecting them to do a lot this season, but because of some key players and some key tactics, they might overcome overcome their uh, stereotype as
yeah.
a team. So we
The
have
only
placed underrated
reason,
genius Villarreal, for example. So why I have
yeah,
gone for Villarreal because I looked at their Tottenham performance. I think it was a very good performance. They lost, unfortunately. They have to learn how to win games, and they have a good compact squad. So these, can you imagine these kind of squads where if you look at their ratings, and I talked with you about this, that all the players are in like okay 76 to 82 categories, and because all
yes,
these players
yes,
are there, they play much better as a team. So they're not
yes,
focused on two three individuals and building a team around them. They're not like okay, three players are really quality who can play for top leagues, but the others are not really good. They have a compact team of players who know the value of VRL, and they're like they know that VRL is not the biggest club, but they have the ambition to do so much better at this club. And that's why I feel that okay, they are this underrated genius kind of teams that perhaps can defy odds and do well in this
and they're
competition.
doing well
Yeah.
domestically as well. They're third in La Liga.
Yeah. So when we talk about Napoli, I don't feel that. I think Napoli is like any other Italian club right now, where they are picking up, either the late end Premier League players, where the Premier League player has been, you know, I'm fine now. I'm gone. Like for example, any Italian team can pick Bernardo Silva, and Bernardo Silva next season can still do very good for them. And they've gone for McTominay, they've gone for Hoyland, they've gone for Lukaku. So it's like, yeah, these players who may not have been able to build a very successful career, except of course De Bruyne. But De Bruyne falls in the bracket of okay, I'm now over. My Premier League
Yeah.
era is over now. So they're a very good team. They might even win the league, but when it comes to Champions League, I just feel that they have some old legs. They have some, players who will do good and they'll give 7.5. But when it comes to playing against, Barcelona, playing against Bayern Munich, even Arsenal, Liverpool, PSG, the top teams, I don't feel they'll do that well. They also lost against City, although they got the red card. I can understand that, but they still lost against City, and Monaco drew against City. So it's like, I feel that if they do something, they will do in this villainish fashion where Conte will get a red card, they will get these ugly wins, and it's like, Napoli, we don't want to visit Napoli because we don't want to drop points against them and we don't want our players getting injured as well. Like something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all vibes because it's just 2 match days, but still, I believe they're the villain category more than underrated.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I get your point. My only thing is that maybe it sounds weird because they won the league last season, so putting them in the underrated category. But my only reason for that is Conte's record in Europe, and that holds them back so much. It's like Tottenham not winning a trophy for like the past 30 years. So no matter what, no matter how many finals they reach, you just always
Yeah.
have that mental block in your mind that, it's Tottenham, they're going to bottle. And they did, except against United. So that mental block, even if they are the best team in Italy, that kind of makes them uh, a team that everyone will undermine just because Conte has that reputation. But again, I feel this season they might do well. So that is why I place them in that category. But I'm fine with uh, Villain as well
Yeah.
because they
I
are a
think
good team.
Yeah, I think villain and underrated team will kind of give us the similar performances. Like they will win when we don't expect them to win.
Yeah,
But the only difference is that they will, maybe if they are a villain team, they will win against teams and ruin their season.
yeah,
And kind of no one will like them winning in that particular day. And underrated is
yeah,
like, oh, I mean, how are they winning this game? And,
yeah. And
how
you
are they?
won't
So that's
mind
the
them
only.
winning the whole thing as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also Kido. So, all right, thank you for listening to me for this one. So, I'm gonna put them in the villain category because I think underrated is something different for me.
Yeah.
All right, now it's time for some quick placements. You have Sporting,
Okay.
Slavia Praha, and
Bodo.
Bodo
Bodo
Glimt.
Glimt. I think you should go first this time. I will pick the next three.
All right. Sporting. Wow. Ah, okay, I have to do a bit quickly. Okay, Sporting. I think okay. Unfortunately, I think people care about them, but they won't do that well. I'll go for this, and Bodo Glimt will be underrated genius for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Why underrated genius?
Uh, Reasons after this. So
Okay.
or I don't have to give a reason, but I'll give a reason.
Okay.
You pick
Okay.
the team, and then I'll go for it. Yeah. Inter.
Inter goes in underrated genius and Copenhagen and I don't know. Is this Pafos? What team is this?
Yeah, Pafos.
Yeah, Pafos goes in the Akshay Kumar category. Both of these.
All right. Makes sense. Okay. So my reason for picking Bodo Glimt, and I would like your reason for Inter Milan for underrated
Yes.
genius. So Bodo Glimt, if you look at their matches, they drew 2-2 against Tottenham. It was a bit unfortunate. They could have won that game because it was a chaotic goal at the end. But if you just look at the way they are playing, I think they're very compact. They are very good attacking wise as well. And they've drawn their 2 games, I think. And They are a team who went down again in the semi-final, first of all, and it was like a heartbreak for them because they could have played the final. But now coming in the Champions League, it's obviously going to be very difficult for them to qualify. But I think they might just sneak in to the playoff rounds because they have the ability to defeat all the other teams around them in the Champions League. And I think who do they play next? So they have Galatasaray. I think again the way they played against Tottenham, they have a very good opportunity to do the Galatasaray against Galatasaray what they did against Liverpool, like go 1-0 up and then just defend and not really lose out. Then they also play Monaco at home, which is again something I feel that could be a winnable match for them. And then they go to Juventus and Dortmund and then Man City. So these three are going to be very difficult. But just the way they have played, I feel we can't underestimate them. They could be they could qualify at least for the round of like the qualifying round for the round of 16, whatever. Yeah, for the quarterfinals, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh, I think for Inter Milan, it's been like uh, it's that team where you just sort of expect them to, I mean, they're there in the UCL. They were not there, just like their AC Milan rivals. But since they have been consistent, they've been there and they have actually made two finals. Of course, they lost the last one pretty badly. I'll take. But before that, they were that underrated team which actually nobody expected. And even before that, when they played that final against City, even in that season, both of those seasons, they have been that team which nobody roots for or nobody expects, but they somehow were still making it consistently. Even in the league, I think they have won, but they finished in the top three. They've finished in the top three consistently, as far as I know.
yeah, yeah,
And again, this season, so basically, I think after Conte left, Inzaghi took over. And I don't
yeah,
think anybody expected Inzaghi to do good things. But he inherited that three at the back formation, played in that formation. Of course, the system is different and still got them results. Now, after Inzaghi has gone, the next manager has come in. Inzaghi, I think, he went to Saudi this
yeah. He went
season.
to Saudi.
And you could have maybe expected the Inter team to not do well, but they have started this
Yeah,
season consistently as well. That the new manager is also playing a 3-5-2.
yeah,
They are still producing results with players like Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Like in the Premier League or with Manchester United, particularly, I'm seeing that you need this particular player in this particular system or this particular position. Only then will the team work. And you
yeah,
see it a lot around Premier League teams, maybe that we need this particular player here in this DM role. We have this injury, we have that injury. That is why our season derailed. But with Inter, they have these, as you said, that 84 to 85, 86 rated player, FIFA player, but they're still consistently making it work. No matter how many injuries they have, no matter who is playing in what position. Matteo Darmian is playing for them and they're still doing well.
yeah,
Çalhanoğlu, Henrik Mkhitaryan, of course, they have a good striker in Lautaro Martinez, Marcus Thuram, but again, they're not these world class players, but they're still making it work. And that is the only reason why I feel people do not rate them, but they still
mm,
consistently go on to win
yeah,
matches
yeah,
and defy the odds.
yeah. Makes sense. Our next team is Arsenal. So, I am an Arsenal fan, of course. But I would like you to go first. Where would you place Arsenal?
Honestly, I am placing them in the superstars category because this season it seems like Arteta is going to finally break that trophy jinx. I don't know where it's going to happen. But no matter where it happens, Arsenal are going to make a deep run in the Champions League because unlike the previous two seasons, they have a lot of attacking depth for this season. They have a lot of defensive depth, and the midfield is really strong. And uh, so I'll tell you, it was my personal bias for the last 2 to 3 seasons when Thomas Partey was playing. I did not want him to be part of the team's success or get his hands on the Premier League trophy because I just didn't like what that was happening. But now Arsenal have kicked him on, and they have a really strong midfield with Martin Zubimendi, Mikel Merino, Declan Rice. Then they have this really strong attack. Like you have Kai Havertz, who's still injured, but he can play in midfield. He can play up front. You have Gyökeres. They finally bought in a backup for Saka, who's doing really well as far from whatever I've seen
Yeah.
him play. Madueke. On the left, maybe you can argue it's a bit weak with Martinelli and Trossard, but there is still a lot of attacking depth. And I think this season, because the kind of system that Arteta is building and the chemistry that has gelled in with these players and with new signings coming in, I think Arsenal is finally at that spot where the players themselves can be confident enough that, hey, we can actually go on and win this thing. Even last season against PSG, Arsenal did pretty well. They could have actually beaten them, but they couldn't because PSG, of course, they were a really good team. But this season, you cannot take them for granted, at least for me. So I'm going to place them in the superstars category because I genuinely feel that they have a genuine, realistic shot at making the finals and even winning the whole thing. Because I don't think there are any excuses this season apart from injuries, maybe because the squad is really good. The results are coming in. The last game against Newcastle, we saw that the team was in a vulnerable position. They were 1-0 down, but the players now have that mentality where Arteta is making those tweaks and he's uh, he's taking those bold decisions. He's now, the players themselves are trying till the very last minute. They did that against City, they did that against Newcastle. So I think the mentality is also improving. So I feel that they should be in that category.
So I won't disagree because I want them into a superstar bracket, but I was actually going to place them in the overhyped bracket.
Okay.
Why? Because that bracket is the only bracket where we can place teams that have expectations, but we feel that maybe they're not. Uh, maybe they won't achieve that level of success is basically winning the Champions League. So, but it's called overhyped bracket, unfortunately. But why I feel so? Because I mean, what's the difference between Liverpool and Arsenal this season, anyways? If you're placing Liverpool in overhyped because they've spent so much money, we should actually, with that logic, put Arsenal in there as well because Arsenal has also spent a lot of money, and in fact, Liverpool has just a 70 million net spend, while Arsenal has 260 or something like that million net spend. So that means
I'm
that
not I'm not talking about I mean transfers part is different. The only reason why the difference between Liverpool and Arsenal for me is that Liverpool have not been convincing at all from what I've seen. Arsenal have been. And secondly, Arsenal have a lot of depth, as I mentioned, in every position. Liverpool, as I mentioned, if they get injuries and if they let Salah go to AFCON, you never know what is going to happen. But Arsenal has a strong backup for every position this season. So that is why I am
yeah.
placing
So
with them.
yeah, I think that if there are no injuries, I would suspect that Arsenal will go very far in this tournament. And again, even if they don't win, fine. One more question I have before placing them is the superstar category for you. What does that mean?
For me, it's teams that have, that are expected to win. They are superstars. Like if you ask someone, who do you think
SRK.
is going to win the Champions League? Like yeah, so if you ask who is the best actor in Bollywood, people would say SRK. If you ask someone who do you think is going to win the Champions League this season, these are the few names that people can expect. So and they are dominating. We are analyzing them based on the performances we've seen so far this season, and Arsenal may not have been convincing in every match, like the United game, for example, but that is what is needed to win tournaments like these. You need those ugly wins to win games. You cannot expect your team to play beautiful football every single game because the Champions League does not reward that. And if it did, Real Madrid would not have 13 UCL 13 titles.
Yeah, I think they do have a good bench, and that has actually made an impact for the last three games, which is apparently happened for the first time in 20 years.
Yeah.
So that a player from a bench has come in and scored. So yeah, I feel they have a very big squad there. They have literally, I think, three main players still injured, not main players, but starting 11 players injured. So hopefully, if the injuries don't come in, for me, superstar was always like they have these superstar names, and They are glamorous. Arsenal, I feel Liverpool are more glamorous than Arsenal this season.
They are,
You know, if you
they
look
are.
at SRK, you know, you look at all this glamour, and if he does, it's going to be a 500 crore box office film, right?
Yeah.
So Arsenal under Arteta has lost that glamour a bit. They're like more rugged, rigid, and defensively very good. That makes them a lot better in knockout tournaments, and you know, even the Premier League as well, because these tournaments need a very good defense, and the in the end game you want their defense to be so strong that they should give your team the chance as much as possible. And you know, Inter was a very good defensive team, but against PSG they just couldn't quite do it. But against Barcelona, they held on, like, you know, they didn't concede more goals, even though it was a big goal scoring game, but they still gave themselves some chance because Barcelona have that high line. So yeah, but all right, okay, let's place them in
Because
the
even you look at Bayern Munich, what glamour do they have apart from Harry Kane? Like Vincent Kompany is their coach. He went from Burnley to Bayern. And
yeah,
Olise, Luis Diaz, these are not like, they're not superstar material. Nicholas Jackson, Joshua Kimmich, Manuel Neuer, maybe
yeah,
he's a legend. But like, same like Arsenal, you could argue Bukayo Saka is a superstar like Harry Kane. But then apart from that, it's the same thing. So I don't think it's the quality, like, superstar squad material, because then Real Madrid would have to be in that category, right? Because of Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., and Bellingham. So I don't think it's the players that matter. It's the team, the coach,
yeah.
the combination of the gameplay, the results, and everything.
All right, okay. So AS Monaco, where would you place AS Monaco? They had a draw against City, so you know.
I'm placing. I don't know. I want to place them in the Irfan Khan category because I
All right,
think
okay.
I think they're going to do like they're going to be the underrated. Ansu Fati has been in form recently, and I'm just really excited to see what Paul Pogba brings to the lineup once he is back. And I feel they could actually go and do great things because they have a decent squad. And people are not really expecting AS Monaco to do anything. I don't think they're going to do anything in the league. But as for some reason, after that match against City, I feel they can do something in the Champions League, and they could be the underrated uh, team that we're not expecting, but they and you wouldn't mind them winning anything in the end, right?
Yeah, and for the same exact reason, I have them either in the overhyped or no one cares bracket. Because yes, they had
Okay.
the very good draw against City, but yeah, they've signed Paul Pogba, they've signed, you know, they have Ansu Fati, they have players who were supposed to do very good, but now, you know, have to settle down in Monaco. But I just feel like they're not the Monaco of the old under
They're not.
this
Yeah, they're not.
Leonardo Jardim, I think the manager was, when they reached the semi-final and lost against Juventus. So I don't feel that. I feel that they are like Marseille, you know, they are quality, but you know, they're not going to get a lot of results against the big teams. City, we know the problems they have. We know the issues they have. That's why Monaco
Yeah.
exploited those issues. But when it comes to playing the big teams or even some of the smaller teams, I just feel they'll have some very normal season. So I would actually place them with nobody cares. I don't think they have anything going on right now, unless you are a football fan and you want, because I mean, I heard this amazing line in I think there's this creator named I can't remember the name, but he makes videos on Arsenal, and he said that someone said, I can't even remember that person's name, but the line was that if you want to find something out in football, you will generally find it. So if you want to
Yeah.
find out, or if you want to look at, who is Monaco a dark horse, you will find that they are. So I just feel that in your mind, you have heard these names and you have sort of imagined that this potential is immense. Of course, there is a lot of potential because they always have young players. They have these big players who will just come in, like Jao Montinho, for example, or even Jeremy Tulala all those years back. They
They
have
have
them.
that right wing back named Wanderson.
Yeah.
थांब कॉल येत होता. सॉरी. हां, परत होतो. So they have this right wing back called Vanderson. He was linked to United, I think, 2 years back or something, and he's really good. Like I watched him back then, not full games, but some compilations and everything. And they have these players, as you said, Joao Moutinho, which we remember from FIFA. And the only reason I don't want to place them in the villains category is that I would not mind if they went all the way, and I do have a feeling that they will go somewhere.
Yeah.
They won't be in the
So they have
useless
these, and they
bracket.
have these players, like I said, these players that we know they are big names. For example, Dennis Zakaria, Folarin Balogun. They also have Mohamed Salisu. They have Takumi Minamino, Eric
Yeah,
Dyer, and we know these players. Like we know these players have a lot of potential in them, and they've just not shown
exactly.
it.
And you want the best for them, right? You, you want
Yeah,
them to win.
but listen to me. It doesn't matter because they are not in full potential. These players just are living their youth legacy, and they are not as good as we think they are. They are a very normal team who I feel we shouldn't care about in this Champions League. They won't
I
do that
think
well. They won't raise eyebrows.
I think for AS Monaco there needs to be a category called FIFA 2008.
Yeah,
You're just so nostalgic and you love that game, but when you actually go to play that game, you realize that
it's
it was
not
just
good.
good in your head.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel
Maybe.
you should give this to me. I think you are reaching. You're reaching with the underrated genius, because I don't think, yeah, genius. You have named these categories, man. They're not genius. So I'm placing them in nobody
Okay.
cares.
Okay.
Union Saint Gilloise, where would they go? Either I would say either in nobody cares or overhyped this season. Because why overhyped? Just one explanation. Because they've been, I think, bought in the last few years by some owner who is very young. I think he's like 33 years old, and he's brought them from non-league to the Belgian Pro League, and
Okay.
he's actually doing well in the Champions League, and they are actually a very quality side. I looked at
They
SofaScore,
defeated
and
Liverpool, I think, in last year or the year before that. They defeated them 2-1.
yeah, maybe the last. No, I think this is their debut. I think San Giolo. I think their debut in the
No,
Champions League.
I don't think I don't remember if it was in the Champions League, but they defeated Liverpool. I know that.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I think they're a bit overrated. They also lost 4-0 against Newcastle. So I don't think either nobody cares, or maybe
Yeah.
just overhyped because they have a
I
bit.
think nobody cares because
Yeah,
the team that they defeated was PSV, and
yeah.
that team is in the same category.
Yeah, so they might be the best of the rest. Maybe that could be a category,
No,
I
but
think.
still, 4-0 from Newcastle is not like, I I don't think better than the rest. I would still say Atletico Madrid is better than the rest in that category.
Yeah, actually. Okay. All right. Next is Karabag. Karabag has actually won against Benfica, and they
They
drew
amazing
their.
win. No, they won in the last game as well.
They won the last game as well.
Yeah. That is why I wanted to place them in the uh, underrated genius category. But
Yeah,
I don't
I
know if
was.
you would.
No,
They defeated
I was also
Copenhagen
going to.
2-0.
Yeah, so it was Copen. So they might be the best of the rest, but they also defeated Benfica, not under Mourinho. So Benfica already had a lot of
But
problems.
they made it. I think Benfica were leading 2-0, and then they came from 2 goals down to win 3-2, and then a home win. I
Yeah.
don't think they are someone that you should place in the, the ignored category. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know where you could place them.
They have a very, very tough fixture list. They play Chelsea, Napoli, and Liverpool. And then they have Eintracht Frankfurt and Ajax. So realistically, perhaps Ajax is someone they can defeat,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I don't think they'll get any result
Maybe
that
in the reverse
goal in
category
them.
because I don't see them as villains, and I don't see
Yeah.
maybe them making, going far away in the competition. Maybe chaos that they could potentially do some unpredictable things. Like that win against Benfica was kind of unpredictable.
Mhm. So chaos and entertainment.
Yeah,
Let's put
I
them
think.
there. Okay. So I think quickly, okay, let's do one thing. Let's put Athletic Club. What's this name? Oh my god, I forgot. Uh, Kerat Almaty and
Hmm.
Galatasaray very quickly without any explanation, and then just discuss PSG,
The four,
City, Tottenham,
right?
Chelsea. Yeah,
I don't think we need to discuss
Athletic Club.
PSG also, but
Sorry.
okay. No, no, I'm saying I don't think we need to discuss PSG also
Yeah,
because it's a
you're
unanimous
going.
opinion. They should be in the superstar category.
Yeah, all right.
So
Athletic
yeah,
Club, I
Athletic
would
Club.
go here.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean,
Yeah,
they literally conceded 7 goals to
yeah.
Amorim's United, and I don't rate them at all. Not at all.
Kairat Almaty, unfortunately, really amazing for them that they are playing Champions
Yeah,
League. But there,
but
and then
yeah,
Galatasaray, I think chaos and entertainment because they've already caused
yeah,
chaos and given us entertainment.
yes. Victor Osimhen.
Yeah.
I think they signed some. They have Gundogan as well, right?
Yes, they have Ike Gundogan, they have Leroy Sané, they
Yeah,
have
Leroy
Lucas
Sané.
Torreira.
Yeah.
So
So
it's an
yes, chaos
Italian
and
team in
entertainment.
disguise.
Chaos and entertainment is the perfect. It was
Yeah.
made for them, I think, for this
Yeah.
season.
And now we have some three really good, amazing teams. We have Manchester City first. Where would you place Manchester City? Superstar, underrated, genius, overhyped, villain, nobody cares, chaos, entertainment. I think no category is actually very apt for them, but still.
Yeah. I think they're not exactly even overhyped. I want to place them in
Yeah.
overhyped, but nobody is actually rating them that much. And have you seen all of their goals this season have come from Haaland? And
Yes.
nobody, like the second top scorer, I think, is on 2 or 1 goals. I
Mm,
think it's Foden with 2 goals, and then rest of them have 1 goal each.
yeah.
So it's kind of like Real Madrid, where Mbappe is carrying that attack, but still Real Madrid have other options when they need to. When Bellingham can step up, when Vinicius Junior can step up, Rodrigo, Arda Güler, they have these players. City, when
Mm,
you look at them, they look like a very toothless team in terms of
yeah.
attack this season because Jeremy Doku and Savinho are not that. Like, I know we discussed about Doku and then he completely uh, did amazingly well in the next
Yeah.
2 to 3 games.
No, I think no, we discussed about not.
We we talked about Doku, then he did very well
Yeah.
against United, then he did well
Yeah.
against Napoli, and even against
Yeah.
Arsenal. So, I mean, I don't see them as very lethal wingers. He has Ryan Cherki, Phil Foden, and
Mm,
Tijani Reinders in midfield, who are, I don't really rate Foden, honestly, because he
mm,
disappears when his team needs him the most. And I don't see their defense being that reliable either. I know they have done really well, but over the course of the season, I think teams like PSG, Bayern can completely outclass that defense, and they cannot only rely on Haaland's goal
mm,
to win games because he will eventually have that patch where he's not scoring. There'll be a goal drought,
yeah.
and they need someone to step up. But they sold all of those players.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I don't know, man. Where would you
I
place
mean,
them?
can we place them in nobody cares category? Like, do people actually care about?
I think yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think the way City has started this season, I think people just know that this could be Guardiola's last season. This is a transitional season for them, and I don't think they'll do that good because the results are showing. But of course, they could be underrated genius as well. Pep now knows how to win with City, and the moment he went to like the park the bus system against Arsenal, that maybe also tells you he's ready to be a bit flexible this season. So knockout tournaments, anything
I
can happen. So yeah,
That game against Arsenal, I've never seen Pep park the bus, and to that extent, which he did, it kind of changed my opinion about him for this season because before that game, I was thinking maybe he's, cooking something. He's gonna
yeah,
bring in some new system. He's going to revolutionize with no wingers, with Shoki, Foden, like number 10s, only number 10s and Haaland is going to do something with that. But that game against Arsenal, it felt like he's just relying, he's just kind of hoping that Haaland scores and then go, uh, you know, rely on his
yeah.
defense. So yeah,
All right. So we have Dortmund and Newcastle. Let's do both. I think I would place
Put
Dortmund
Dortmund in
in
Akshay Kumar.
Akshay Kumar. Really, I feel it's going
Do
to be
they?
chaos
Is
and
there even a
entertainment because
point for
it's.
Dortmund? Is there even a point for Dortmund?
I think
I
the best. Yeah.
No, I just, it's like everyone expects them to do something and they disappoint always. May it be the Champions League final against Madrid or that extremely close title race against Bayern Munich where they just had to draw their final game to win the title and they couldn't even do that on their own home ground. They just consistently disappoint you so much. They give you hope and then they prove that they're not worth that. So it's like it doesn't matter. They just should stick to producing talented kids or signing them and then selling them for higher
Yeah.
fees like Ajax. I don't see a point in them.
I think we don't have Juventus in here. I just realized that. So we'll add Juventus and also let's discuss about Juventus and later on I'll just add it over here.
Okay.
Okay. So I think okay, you're saying Dortmund in nobody cares. I feel Dortmund are going to be giving us some real entertainment because look at their match against Juventus. But we know Juventus. I mean, they had this 4-5 against Inter Milan and then 4-4 against Real Madrid, against Dortmund. But I feel again, I mean, they have some amazing players. Niko Kovac is a very good manager if he is given time. He plays three at the back. He has this really good striker, Adiemi, who is again, a very very fast player. You look at their games. I feel they fit perfectly in entertainment because they will never give us a dull game, and they also fit in chaos because they can snatch some points out of a big team where the big team, perhaps then come under pressure. Okay, all right, we have dropped points against Dortmund. Now we have to sort of not drop points at all going forward. But Dortmund is a tough game, I think. So they have to go in chaos and entertainment. I don't think nobody ever will not care about Dortmund. Everybody will want them to do something in the tournament, and they will watch Dortmund and
Yeah,
how they're doing.
maybe, but they've just let me down so many times and they're not even my favorite team. So I just don't care about them now, honestly. That's just a personal opinion, of course. But
Okay.
yeah, as you said, because of that Juventus game, anything could happen. They
Yeah.
have Gurasi. I think he was the top scorer in the UCL last season.
Yeah, Guirassi. Yeah, and he's a very good striker. And again, they have some
Yeah.
amazing upcoming players.
Yeah,
Uh,
and so yeah, maybe we could place them in that category. ऐक ना तुझं
Newcastle.
व्हिडिओ नाही
Yeah.
दिसत आहे तुझं.
Ooh, I think एक मिनिट थांबा. काय झालं?
व्हिडिओ म्हणजे मला ब्लॅक स्क्रीन दिसते.
हो, हो, हो. 1 मिनिट.
आणि तू मगासपासून बोलतो तेव्हापासून दिसते. मला वाटलं मे बी माझा नेटचा इश्यू असेल.
आत्ता म्हणजे केव्हापासनं ब्लॅक स्क्रीन आली आहे?
जे तू डॉटमंड बद्दल बोलतो तेव्हापासून.
अच्छा, 1 मिनिट हां. हां, आलं ना?
हां, आता दिसतं.
हां, सो मी डॉर्टमंडबद्दल परत एकदा बोलत आहोत तर
हां,
जस्ट
परत बोल.
Okay. So I will place Dortmund in the chaos and entertainment because I think they always give us entertainment. I think they are chaotic. The Juventus game was really good, really amazing. And I don't think anyone will ever not care about Dortmund. They will always want Dortmund to do well in any tournament. They can never be villains. They are always a good team and always Bayern Munich can be a villain sometimes, but Dortmund can't be a villain. Dortmund can't be overhyped because they never have those kind of players. I think 2012 was the only time they had these players where someone can say, okay, they're just overhyped, but they actually won the Bundesliga as well. So they can never be overhyped. They can never be underrated genius because always expect them to do something, and they never have superstars. Yeah, of course they have like superstars Jude Bellingham and stuff, but it's always about one or two big players, and then the other players are supporting and just waiting
And they
for their
sell them
opportunity to be the
eventually.
stars.
So
Yeah,
there's no
eventually
point
they
in that.
sell them anyway. So I think chaos and entertainment would fit them.
Maybe, yeah.
And Newcastle
I
now
think
I think Newcastle is underrated genius.
okay, okay. I
And
I was
so
going to say let's unanimously say where we want to put Newcastle, and I thought like
okay, sorry.
we have the same opinion, but we don't. So you go first and then I'll go.
Okay. So I place let's just discuss Newcastle. I think we have been a long in this, like this video has been very long now. I will place Juventus in, I have no problem in placing them either in villain or chaos entertainment. Looks like chaos entertainment to me.
Yeah,
And I don't
chaos
know.
entertainment.
Yeah, okay. So Juventus is agreed. Now let's come to Newcastle. I feel that when Eddie Howe played his first ever UCL season with Newcastle, he had Dortmund, PSG, and AC Milan in his group. And he managed to win one game and draw two, and now he's been there for in the club for a long time. He managed to get them back in the UCL. They have signed some amazing players. They've signed Eddie Howe players. So players Eddie Howe really would love to have and will bring maximum out of them. Anthony Alanga, Waltemada, Waltermead, what's his pronunciation is, Visa, Ramsey. So is good. Joelinton, perhaps I think his injury might be that there might be an injury to him, but still, Bruno Guimaraes. So they have these amazing players, and Newcastle is so stubborn. They will learn a lot against, what happened against Barcelona. They had some amazing chances in the first half. If I think Anthony Gordon was there, if he would have scored, they would
Yeah.
have gone 1-0 up against Barcelona. So I think Eddie Howe has it in him to just sit back, wait for the other team to get a bit exhausted, and they have Voltamada to just throw that cross in. And you know what happened with, even Gabriel as well, who's supposed to be so good in the air. As a little push, which was, I think, it was just a mess by Gabriel. I mean, shameful really by Gabriel, but still, I mean, they have this amazing striker up front, and they might not miss Isak because they've signed some amazing players. So underrated genius for me, might go into semi-final. I have them for semi-finals if they
Okay.
just get their form back. Yeah.
Okay. So my points are different. I want to place them in the villain category, and
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Uh, it's because okay. So the first thing is that they're actual thugs. Like you just their style of play is like Joel Linton, and it's so physical that they're actual villains, kind of. So first point is that. Second is I don't know. I wouldn't want to place them in the underrated genius category because Barcelona and their own players admitted it that they were tactically outclassed by Barcelona. They couldn't get to the ball and something. So, like, if their whole approach is going to be just sit back because they have been defensively strong. I'll give Eddie Howe that in the Premier League this season they have before the game against Arsenal, they had 4 clean sheets in 5 games. The only team they conceded was against Liverpool, and even against Arsenal, they frustrated them till the very end. So I'll give them that. Defensively, they're very strong, but I don't think Eddie Howe is like underrated genius based on tactics. I wouldn't give them because they're just pretty much basically physically strong, and as you said, put that ball in, maybe get someone like Voltemada to score, and then just sit back. They did that against Barcelona. They won yesterday, but again their opponent was Union Saint Gilles. I don't know how that's
Yeah.
pronounced, but it was an easy game, I think. So yeah, I that is one thing. And the third thing is that they have signed a lot of players. Like they're not exactly someone like a. I know it's not superstar signings, but they're still not in that fairy tale category of underrated where Inter Milan
Mm.
or someone like Villarreal would fall into, where you are fascinated by their gameplay or their results, or you would even want them to win because I don't know. They signed Voltemada for I think 95 million euros, and I don't remember. It was 95 million euros as far as I know. They signed
Yeah.
Visa, they signed Elanga, and I mean it's not like they were rejected by a lot of clubs because they wanted to replace Isaac. They were bullied by Liverpool for Ekitike, then by Manchester United for Sesko. So they they were in the transfer market. They were active there. They were ready to spend a lot of money. It's their bad luck maybe that they did not end up with those players. But I don't think. I think they are good as villains because they are the team that can harm the teams by just having a really good defense and hurting them on the counter. So as villains, they could do that. They could hurt big teams, but I don't know if they would actually go that far in the competition. If they come up against
Also,
someone like Bayern, PSG, or Barcelona, who will play their tiki-taka style of football, or even against Arsenal, who may not play the best football, but they can still outclass them like they did in that last game. I don't see them actually, uh,
yeah. Okay. All right. I think they do have a very realistic chance of actually finishing in the qualified teams, which are top eight, because they
yeah,
play Benfica, Athletic Club, Marseille, Leverkusen, and PSV before playing PSG. So I think all of these games are actually winnable if you look at their
yeah.
squad. But yeah, I mean, okay, I get it. So I will transfer Newcastle, and this is our final list. And I will add Juventus in the chaos and entertainment category. So, quite fascinating. Now we have four teams in the superstar. I really feel Arsenal and Liverpool can swap places. But, anyways, again, great. Underrated genius. We have to now see what Villarreal, Bodo Glimt, and Inter Milan do. Overhyped Benfica and Liverpool. Villain Prakash Raj, who is Olympic Marseille, Chelsea, Napoli, and Newcastle. And whereas Ranveer Singh, chaos and entertainment is Real Madrid, Olympiacos, Eintracht Frankfurt, Karabakh, Galatasaray, and Dortmund. And then nobody cares. I am not going to care of taking their names.
I was just going to say, please don't take the names because
Yeah,
we don't
because
care
it's a
about.
long list of
Yeah,
teams that nobody cares about in the Champions League. We don't
yeah.
care about them. But no, it's not like that. We do care. But all right, fun episode, man. It's you know what? Nobody's gonna watch till the end. I think nobody's watching right now.
I don't
I
think
think
so.
we can
Yeah,
do
you could say
anything.
anything, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
we could say anything right now. Let's think. I
I think we
think
did that in the entire episode.
yeah.
You don't have to do it right
Donald
now.
Trump is my favorite prime minister slash president of USA. Sorry, just president. But I can say prime minister because nobody's going to fact check me. All right.
Yeah,
Was fun. Okay.
it
So I
was.
think we
It
are going to
was.
do a lot. I think I
I
have
think
never had.
we should revisit this at the end of the league stage, and
Yeah, of
then of
course.
course do one for the knockouts, but just to see how much we got correct and how stupid, and of course to say I told you so for the teams that we put into other
Yeah.
categories, listening to the other person's opinion.
Hopefully, there's not a final between Atletico Madrid and Tottenham Hotspurs. So at least we won't have that kind of a
that
wrong
is that is not
prediction.
happening.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Okay, has been fun. This was the most fun episode I've done with you. Usually we discuss a lot of serious stuff, and I think this was a long episode because we just refused to take just 10 teams and actually did 35 teams and
Yeah,
36 if you count Juventus. Has been a long day. We started at 1 p.m. and now it's 10:44 p.m. The entire day we are sitting here in front of
I
camera
think that
recording.
post that men can just sit around whole day and talk
Yeah.
about random players or teams that they
Yeah.
know about. It's true because, like, what, 10 hours, 10, 12, I don't know how long it's
And
been.
we're still talking. We're still talking.
Yeah.
And it feels like we should revisit the list again and let's. Okay. But you're not going to do
We
that.
could do one for Premier League right now.
Yeah. I would actually
Like,
love that. Okay. But Premier League will come on Monday. We'll record on Monday because I think the weekend matches will be over. But thanks, Vedan, for joining me. The Ground Podcast is back. Really fun episodes. If you want us to make some list, you just tell us. And all right. Let's meet. Until next time.